What's going on, Go Nation? I'm back on another video, and today I'm going to be reacting to the Cosmic Wonder. Breaking Marvel fires Avengers, Secret Wars, and Kang Dynasty writers. What's his name? Michael Waldron? I think that's supposed to be one of the writers. I don't know what's going on in Marvel. Hopefully they're switching something up and doing something better. I don't know. I just want to get straight into the video, but before we do that, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. We're on the road to 200 subs. Let's see what Cosmic talking about.
Well, it looks like Marvel Studios and Disney really are making some pretty big changes when it comes to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Cosmic Wonder, where we talk all things Marvel and MCU. Kevin Feige, the president of Marvel Studios, and Bob Iger, the CEO of Disney, of course, have come out several times over the past several months and talked about how they are going to be making a change with their Disney Plus content and just a change overall with the quality of content that they produce as a whole. And it looks like they are staying true to their word, making some pretty big changes. As we have just found out that it looks like Marvel Studios has apparently fired the writers for Avengers Kang Dynasty and Avengers Secret Wars. And we've already seen a ton of reactions online right now. This comes as some good news to some fans and some bad news to some others. This also, of course, leaves us with the question of who exactly is going to be the main writers for Avengers Kang Dynasty and Avengers Secret Wars. Because there was something that was actually pretty cool about Jeff Loveness writing Kang Dynasty and Michael Waldron writing Secret Wars. We'll break down everything you need to know, including who could possibly replace them as the new writers in this video. And if you're new, be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of the latest MCU news. And if you subscribe and leave a comment, you are automatically entered in our giveaway for a chance to win an Xbox Series X, a PS5, some Marvel Legends items, or some DC items. The winner picks one item, and we pick one winner at the end of each month. Only a handful of days left now. So this report is coming from the very reliable insider, My Time to Shine Hello, who originally tweeted this out. No screenwriters will be hired for Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars until the strikes are over, but it should be Phil Lord and Christopher Miller. I'm pretty sure I'm not the first person to suggest them, and for good reason. And across the Spider-Verse, they handled 280 variations of Spider-Man, 95 of which are unique and named characters. Plus the villain, the action scenes, character development, humor, drama, romance, and of course, the concept of the multiverse. They're perfect. Now, My Time to Shine Hello tweeting this implied that Jeff Loveness and Michael Waldron were no longer writing Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars, because her tweet started off by stating no screenwriters will be hired for Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. But to follow that up, Skylar Schuler over at thedisinsider.com asked this: so are you saying Loveness and Waldron are off Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars? In which My Time to Shine simply replied with yes. So according to the insider, My Time to Shine Hello, Jeff Loveness and Michael Waldron are no longer the writers for Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. Now, some people think this is good because, if you didn't know, Jeff Loveness wrote Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, and Michael Waldron, along with Sam Raimi, wrote Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. So the fans who didn't like those two movies are actually pretty excited about this news. However, keep in mind, Michael Waldron also wrote Loki Season 1, and it was phenomenal. There's also the fact that Jeff Loveness and Michael Waldron are really good friends, which kind of helps them when they're going to be writing a Part 1 and a Part 2 movie, essentially. The Kang Dynasty being Part 1 and Secret Wars being Part 2. That would definitely help with continuity purposes and connectivity. The two of them have been very close for some time now because they work together on Rick and Morty, where most people agree that the writing for that is pretty dang good. Plus, they've already written a few things for the MCU, so they have a pretty good grasp on where things are going right now. Plus, Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars are going to be huge connected films, not solo films that aren't really connected to anything. Plus, not to mention, when they wrote for Rick and Morty, they actually dealt with a multiverse. So they do have experience, but it doesn't really matter now because if this report is true, they're off it. Now, they could have quit on their own, but what most likely happened is that Marvel Studios and Disney are trying to shake things up a little bit and let them go. They looked at the success that Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania had and the success that Multiverse of Madness had, and they said, well, Well, we want it to be better. Even though there are a lot of people out there who enjoyed both those films. Marvel Studios still felt it necessary to make some changes to try and improve the quality of the content that they're putting out, especially when it comes to the two biggest movies of the multiverse saga, the two Avengers films. And Secret Wars is supposed to be the biggest Avengers movie ever. So it looks like they are sticking true to their word to try and increase the quality of things. Now, as far as who could replace them, what the insider My Time to Shine Hello stated is actually a pretty great idea. She stated that Phil Lord and Christopher Miller should be the ones to write these films. Now, if you don't know the names, they wrote and they produced Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, which was a massive success recently. And Phil Lord wrote the first Spider-Verse film, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, while Christopher Miller didn't write the first one, he did help produce it as well. And most of the fandom shares pretty much the same opinion about these films. They're awesome. But what My Time to Shine Hello stated is also very, very correct. They were able to handle 280 variations of Spider-Man, and 95 of which are very unique, and none of them are really the same. And they really did handle so many different aspects of this movie extremely well. The action, the romance, the character development, humor, it was all done incredibly well. But the most important part is they handled the concept of the multiverse kind of better than we've ever really seen it done. Plus, we know that in Secret Wars, there's going to be a lot of cameos. The multiverse is going to be falling into destruction. Incursions are going to be happening. Universes are going to be colliding. We're going to see a lot of variants of a lot of different characters. That is what Secret Wars is going to be about. We've already started to see that in Multiverse of Madness, and we're going to really see that in Deadpool 3. And in theory, Secret Wars should be even bigger. I mean, we've heard rumors that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are going to be returning. Hugh Jackman is going to be sticking around until Avengers Secret Wars. The original X-Men will be there as well. We could also see variants such as Tom Cruise's Iron Man finally. Superior Iron Man. Let's also not forget the rumors that Captain America, Chris Evans, could return to play him, and Robert Downey Jr. could return as Iron Man. And side note, I would actually really love to see Robert Downey Jr. play a variant of Steve Rogers and Chris Evans play a variant of Tony Stark. But the point is, Phil Lord and Christopher Miller could handle all of these different cameos because they have already done a project that has an extreme amount of different variants of a character. And they did it on different scales. They have Miles Morales, and then you have Gwen Stacy from a different universe. Spider-Man 2099 from a different universe. Spider-Punk. You have all of these main characters from different universes, but then you had the Spider Hub, which had tons of different Spider-Man from tons of different universes, all handled extremely well. And remember, we're still talking about story. We're talking about screenwriting, the writers for these projects. And I would assume that Marvel Studios would probably hire both of them as a team to direct both films, not each of them separately. And it honestly makes sense for the same writer or writers to write both of the films. It's just like for Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. They had Christopher Marcus and Stephen McFeely write both of them. The same thing goes for the directors. The Russo brothers directed both Infinity War and then Endgame. And this worked extremely well because they were essentially writing one big story. The same thing goes for Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. They are basically a part 1 and a part 2. They are the same story, so you probably want the same writers to write both of them. And since they have done such a great job with the Into the Spider-Verse franchise so far, they might be our best bet right now. Unfortunately, nothing official can happen, of course, until after the strikes. Negotiations can't even happen right now. But of course, when the strikes are over, they can talk, and hopefully they'll get these two or some other incredibly talented writers as well. Fingers crossed, and we'll have new writers for Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. If we hear anything about any updates in regards to this, we'll be sure to let you know, so be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the latest videos.
Another great video from Cosmic Man. Like I was saying before, my suggestion, I think it should be the Russo brothers once again. To me, they made the greatest, for me personally, the greatest superhero movie ever, Infinity War. And they made, of course, Endgame, one of the greatest superhero movies ever. Plus, Winter Soldier and Civil War. Those are like almost every single Marvel's fan's top 10 best MCU movie. Why don't we just do that? My personal opinion. But what do you guys think? Who should be writing the movie? Should the creator of SpongeBob be writing this movie? Or we should just bring back the writers of Thor: The Dark World? Choose one. You can only choose one. Choose carefully. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and leave a comment or two. You already know what to do. I'm out.